Hi! Happy Friday! We made it! Yeah! Okay, so I just have to be completely honest. So this week has been a little bit crazy for me with everything that was going on and everything that my clients needed this week. It was a little chaotic. So to get to Friday, I think is a huge accomplishment, and I am so happy that I get to spend my Friday night with you. So welcome to Friday Night Sessions with me, Antonia, and my company, Assist-U. Tonight's topic, we are going over business plans. Business plans is a huge part of people's businesses. It kind of determines whether or not your business is going to be viable. It could possibly get funding from this plan, from a bank or from an investor, or to bring on a partner. So business plans are extremely crucial to the success, I think, of any business. Even if my kids started a lemonade stand, I would probably ask them, who's your ideal customer for this lemonade stand, right? So we're going to get into that a little bit. Tonight's live is actually sponsored by a woman that I just met recently. We've been working together for a couple of weeks now. Her name is Lakeisha Poole. She is the owner of Jack of All Trades Media. She is gifted and young and African-American, full of a huge vocabulary, full of dreams and ideas. And she is actually just a new light that has come into my life. So I'm very excited to know her. In the ticker tape, you will find her website information. She has two websites. One, she promotes her being an author and a speaker and a writing consultant. So if you're trying to write a book, she's definitely your girl. And then the other website, Jack of All Trades, she talks more about her public relations business because she is phenomenal. One of her clients in a review on her website from a press release that she wrote got featured in Essence Magazine and Black Enterprise. So she's a big deal. She's a big deal, like a little package. So I am so happy to know her. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into weekly wins. So I'm just going to share my weekly win real quick. If you had a weekly win this week, please go ahead and put in. Oh, Takia said I love the name of her business. Yeah, me too. Right? It's just so. She's so clever with words. I love it. So my weekly win this week is that actually I'm not gonna, fluff or make it bigger than what it is. It's the fact that I actually got through it. Sometimes, as I'm sure you know, weeks can be a little bit trying. You can be pulled in a lot of different directions. Well, this week was trying for me because not only did I have multiple different deadlines for my clients, I also have a child who just got enrolled into Florida virtual school, and coordinating all of the welcome calls. And hi, Kia. Thank you. I love this color red. I'll talk about that in a second. But trying to coordinate all the welcome calls, trying to make sure I remember all of my kids' teachers' names. I just had to be honest and said, you know what? I have 5 children. I have no idea who you are. Who are you calling for? So whenever you call me, just say who you're calling for, or if you're texting, say my child's name so I know exactly who it is. Because just like them, well, I guess I'm on a smaller scale, but just like them, I have too many kids to remember their names all the time. So, but this week was really about juggling, right? So that is my win. Okay, so Terrence said his win, he applied for a $100,000 grant. All right. I know. I'm so excited. I actually just finished wrapping up Terrence's pitch deck for his grant. So if you don't know what a pitch deck is, send me a message or put something in the comments so I can remember to meet with you one-on-one and explain what a pitch deck is. We might do a Friday night session live on it. It's a pretty good topic because it marries very well to a business plan, but it's just a slight bit different, right? So yes, so those are my wins. You look like Wild Plant. Gosh, he's so silly. Whatever. Um, so those are my wins for this week. So drop in the comments what your wins were. And as we go along with the night, I'll make sure that we shout them out and that we praise you and congratulate you on your win. All right. So he's so funny. Okay. So let's go ahead and just move into tonight's topic. It's a lot of detail. So I want to make sure I cover each one of the circles. If you were with me the last 2 weeks, you know that I have the circles, right? And then I have the little branches that branch off on the circles. So tonight is going to be absolutely no different. So I hope you have a pen, I hope you have a piece of paper, or I hope you're recording this, or you're planning on watching the replay, whatever you're going to do in order to make sure you retain this information. So let's go ahead and get started just real quick. All right, let me make it bigger for you. Someone sent me a message and said they needed it to be bigger, so that's fine. I have no problem being small. I like being in the background. Totally okay. Okay, all right, so starting a business. So your business plan, like I said before, a business plan is really extremely important to make sure that you have a successful business. No one wants to, if they can help it, walk into a room in the dark or blind, correct? So you want to make sure that you have a plan for this business idea and you want to build upon it. The first week we talked about market research. So talking about, well, actually, I believe yes, market research. So we were talking about kind of like cyber stalking, pulling necessary reports to talk about the market and your competition. Then the last week we talked about the processes in your business development, thinking about your client experience, all of these little itty bitty details that are eventually going to be combined into a living, breathing document I like to call the business plan. Now, you're probably asking, why do you call it a living and breathing document? Because a business plan should evolve as your business evolves. It should continuously be updated, whether it's quarterly, whether it's semi-annually or annually. You want to make sure you keep it up to date, because just as a baby grows and flourishes and gets bigger, so does your business if it's a viable, successful one, right? And we are always going to be planning for success. At Assist-U, we never plan for failure. So we are going to expect that your business idea is going to become that big, whatever dollar business that you are wanting it to be. So we start with the business plan. So you want to definitely take a look and think about how you're going to structure this business. There's a lot of different company structures. So there's a sole proprietorship. There is a limited liability company. There's a corporation. There are S-corps. You want to make sure, I always refer clients if they're asking for more details, because I get my definitions right from the IRS website. Look at their website, look at the definitions of what each corporation type is, and then consult a tax accountant or a bookkeeper at the very minimum about which corporate structure you should establish for your company based on your company goals. So for example, if you are going to be running maybe an accounting firm, and you know that your accounting firm is going to be generating hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue, you might want to go with a S or a corporation and then file for the S Corp status so that the revenue and the expenses pass right along to you on your 1040 that you file every year, right? So that's one example. Another example is you might want to do an LLC. A lot of my clients who are boutique owners, they decide to go with an LLC because normally they're by themselves. So when it comes to tax time, they can file, the IRS will view their LLC as a sole proprietorship, as a sole owner LLC, right? So for tax purposes, it's in their favor. But then they also get all these extra additional protections to where if, knock on wood, they do get sued, Someone can go after just the business assets alone, and their personal assets are protected. And the way that it protects you the most, from what I've seen in my experience, is if you actually pay yourself. So you don't want to have an LLC, keep all of the money in the bank account, never pay yourself, and then somebody comes out after the business assets, then you're kind of out of luck because you never took a salary, right? So there's just a lot of nuances that you definitely want to learn about, and you want to consult a licensed CPA or tax accountant. They should be one and the same, to make sure you're making the right foundation for you to build your business upon. So when you're structuring your business, you want to go, and after you've received your consultation, you then want to go and you want to file with your state. So in the state of Florida, our website is sunbiz.org. Every single state has their own division of corporations. So you can just Google it, Google division of corporations. And you want to go in and you want to file either yourself, or you can have someone help you, or you can use one of these services that you pay an additional fee on top of your state fees to do it for you. So like LegalZoom or lawyerly.com. All right. So any questions on how to structure your business? Okay. Just a segue real quick. So Takia said her win this week was her first anthology feature is set to be out in September. She is now a writer and an editor. Ooh! Congratulations. That is no small feat, Takia. Congratulations. That's awesome. I will definitely purchase without the discount. I will pay full price for the book, please. Thank you. And then Michi says, wins. I got out of Facebook jail, so I can start my ads. Yay! Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone else has been running Facebook or Instagram ads, but in the past couple of weeks, it's crazy. They've been doing a lot of updates and a lot of changes, and it just arbitrarily has been disabling people's accounts, which is crazy, because that's how a lot of people generate their money. So essentially they're messing with our coins, and I don't like that, right? Okay, so congratulations. Hey, Anya. Love you, business bestie. Okay, so let's move over to preliminary budget. So this is like my favorite part of a business plan because I really, really love financials. I love numbers. They are black and white. There's no question. There's no confusion. It's either it is or it isn't. And when you're starting a business and you're creating your business plan, you want to say what it will be. And the reason why it will be this is based off of this research, based off of the fact that I'm going to price my products or my services at this much. And I think I can obtain this many customers in this amount of time. So then I will generate this amount of revenue. Did I lose you? So let's back it up real quick. So when you're thinking about preliminary budgets, I want you to try to create two. I want you to create a startup budget, and then I also want you to create a sales strategy budget. So one will feed into the other. The sales strategy budget will feed into the startup budget, because on your startup budget, you want to make sure you put your potential revenue to offset the costs, like the corporate filing fees, first round of marketing supplies, inventory, trainings, memberships to different type of organizations. You want to offset it so that it looks a lot prettier, not just, I shelled out all this money and I don't know when I'm going to get it back, you know? So when you're thinking about your sales strategy budget, you want to try to get to the smallest number possible. And I like to back up into that number. So how do you do that, right? So you start with the goal, which is, let's just say it's $100,000 that you want to make in your first year. So then you need to break that down into quarters. How much is that going to be each quarter? Then once you figure that out, you need to figure out how much you need to make per month. Then you break it down even further, right? Then you go, okay, I need to make this amount of money each week. Then you go further. This is how much I need to make per day. Well, how am I going to get to this much money per day, Antonia, is probably what you're thinking. You divide that by your average sales price or order price or total order purchase that someone makes. So if it's $31.51 that somebody on average spends on a sale, times that by the number of sales that you need for that day, then by that week, then by that month, then by that quarter to get you to your $100,000 goal. Does that make sense? I hope so. If it doesn't make sense, send me a message privately and we'll go over it in more detail. But that's essentially what you want to do on your sales strategy budget, is like what I like to call it. Then you take that revenue that now you know how you can achieve that $100,000 in your first year. You take that $100,000 projected revenue and you put it onto your preliminary startup budget in the top. So then all of your expenses will then be deducted from it below it. And then you'll find out what your projected net revenue will be for your first year. And once you do that for the first couple of years, I suggest 3 years, tweaking it a little bit. Then you can create graphs and charts and make sure that you're staying on budget, making sure you're staying on track. And then if you're not, then you get to have those fun conversations where you're like, well, what can we change? What can we do differently? What's the strategy now? Did this strategy work for us? So it opens up a big can of worms that starts from the numbers. And that just makes me so excited. And I love going down that road. So let's see. Oh, okay. Michi said her win also this week was speaking at her first virtual conference, hosting a live masterclass. Okay, Michi. I love seeing people out here doing big things. It lifts my spirit. I don't care how hard of a week I've had. When I hear that someone else is doing something for the first time ever and they're about to kill it, it just makes me so excited. So congratulations, Michi. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to register and attend. So if you want to put the link to the actual conference down in the comments, please do, so everyone can go and cheer you on as well. All right, so the next part of your business plan is you want to then move on to the setting the 1 to 3 year goals. So what does that look like? You're probably asking. Well, it really depends. So you want to create quantifiable goals that you can actually obtain or possibly reach within your first year. So whether that is the number of clients that you're going to service within your first year. Like for Assist-U, we want to help 100 businesses either start or launch a new product or service, right? So that's a quantifiable goal within the next year. Whether or not your sales goals with your sales strategy, you want to see how much you can actually sell. You want to see how much revenue you can actually generate. So those are goals that you want to, now that you have your basic baseline of numbers, use in order to create your 1 to 3 year goals. And I'll tell you why that's important in a second. We're going to kind of back up a little bit because the numbers, I get so excited. The numbers are my favorite part, but definitely your business plan, you want to talk about, you and what experience that you have in order to run this business. And, where are you going to get this experience if you don't have any, and you're going to take, certification courses, or you're going to do an apprenticeship, or you're going to be an intern somewhere. Just so that anyone else who's reading this for the sole purpose of wanting to see if they want to invest in you, they will feel a little bit better about knowing that either you have the experience or you're going to get the experience, right? So definitely don't shy away from that section. Down in the ticker tape, I have the basic chapters or sections, if you will, of a typical business plan. So the executive summary, the company description, your market research section, marketing and sales strategies. So how are you going to get the word out? How are you going to consistently make sure that you get customers or clients? And then also you have your financial piece as well. So we went into that pretty much in a lot of detail in the preliminary budget circle, but it's definitely something that you need. Now, the last part on the ticker tape is the investor return of investment. So most companies, unless you're in the tech world, most companies or people will start their company with the idea that they're going to keep it for a while, right? They're going to keep it for at least 3 to 7 years before they even think about either merging with someone or getting an investor or selling it all together. What happens if you boom and you're wanting to expand, or if it goes the other way and it kind of flatlines a little bit? What are you going to do in terms of money? You're going to need an investor or maybe even a loan from a financial institution. They're going to want to see, any smart investor is going to want to see your business plan. They're going to want to see from start to finish how you began, how you got to this point, and how you're going to get to the next point. And then they want to know, what do you want from me? There should always be a section in your business plan, whether you are anticipating needing an investor in the beginning or not. I always encourage my clients to have this investor section where you clearly lay out exactly how much money you want for how much you're willing to give, whether it's a percentage in equity, whether it's royalties, whether it's just a buy-in to a partnership and then like a split. So there's a lot of ways that you can set up this section. I would definitely say that it's nothing to sneeze at. You don't want to skip over it because anything could happen on any given day. So for example, I have a client that was needing an injection of cash, and unfortunately, because they didn't have a business plan right away, the investor that they worked so hard to get in front of, who finally decided to take them seriously, kind of got tired of waiting because he came to me too late to ask me to do his business plan. And then when I did get it ready for him, the investor had moved on to someone else. So you never want to be caught with your pants down, so to speak, in business. But you definitely want to plan for success, plan for the fact that somebody's going to want to buy into your company. Okay. So there's a lot more that goes into a business plan. We, again, Assist-U, we create these for our clients. It takes typically about a month, depending on the level of research that we have to do or that you're willing to do. The last thing I will say is when you are prepping for, let's say, an investor meeting and you're ready to show them your business plan and or pitch deck, make sure that it is catering to that particular audience. You don't want to go into a financial institution and bring your business plan and it's just all these different colors and is extremely distracting. And it kind of makes the investor or the person who's reviewing it kind of question, like, what are they trying to hide? So make sure, just like with any presentation, it is tailored and geared for the audience that you are trying to present it to. So when we do business plans, we typically give our clients about 2 or 3 different files so that they can decide who to send it to based on the audience, right? So that in a nutshell is business plans. If you would like any more details or questions about possibly starting a business plan, or if you already have one and you want someone to review it for the month of August, we are actually doing free reviews on business plans and giving you our eagle eye advice on what we think you should change on it. And then if you want us to change it, then we'll talk about a block of hours. But so for the month of August, we're actually giving away free business plan reviews because we want to help you, right? All right, cool. All right, so not Takia, Michi actually put in the link for her virtual conference into the comments. So if anyone is interested, please go shout out Michi and let's support one another. So just like last week, we're just going to go over it real quick, just a quick summary. So Assist-U's 365 mission this year is to help 100 businesses either launch or to launch a product or a service So what does that mean and how do you get started, right? So what it means is we want to help you help yourself. We're tired of people waiting and sleeping on themselves, their talents, their just idea that somehow got implanted into their brain to start. We don't want anyone to have any excuses whatsoever. So if you are interested in starting your business this year, before July of 2021, please contact us. You can either contact me here personally on Facebook, you can go to my email or to the website, schedule a call. What happened, whatever way you can get a hold of us. We want to make sure that you start your business this year. If you already have a business and you're trying to launch either a workshop or a course or a masterclass, or you're just trying to set up your first ad or what have you, please reach out to us. We have absolutely no problem helping, and you're actually helping us reach our goal, which is to hopefully change and touch over 100-something lives. So very excited about that. So let's go ahead and roll into what I learned this week. So it kind of is like my win, essentially. It was just making it through the week. And if you actually learned something new this week, if you want to go ahead and put it in the comments, we could talk about that too. But so what I learned this week is, honestly, you can juggle as much as you want to, but if those balls want to fall, they are going to fall. So I can't tell you how many times I had to call someone back, like a teacher of my children, because either I was on a business call or I was doing something else, and they had scheduled what's called a DBA, which is like a discussion-based assessment. So the teachers speak to them about the concepts that they learned in their chapter, just to make sure that they are retaining the information and they're actually the ones who did the work, right? It was awful. I felt a little defeated, just a little bit. Probably like on Thursday morning, I was just done. But I learned that, what's going to happen is going to happen, even as a mother, as a business owner, and you just have to roll with the punches. And I typically do, but I think maybe just all the kids going back to school and then everybody being virtual, it kind of got to me a little bit. But I just had to remind myself, that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So that's it. All right. Does anyone have any questions or want to talk about something that they learned this week? Let me see. Okay. So Michi learned this week about patience and not settling for less than what I want. I totally hear you, and I could totally relate to that. Patience, I feel like, is like it's like when you have been eating healthy for so long and you're just really just wanting that piece of fried chicken, and you just know you shouldn't get it, but you really, really want it. And like, I know I should be patient and I know I should try harder, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. But when it does, when I get that piece of fried chicken, it's amazing. And you find that a lot of good comes from patience. Maybe not from fried chicken. I don't think if my health coach heard me, she wouldn't agree. But from patience, definitely a lot of good things can come from, just waiting and just centering yourself and just not like going off the handle and just letting things happen when they're supposed to happen. So I think that's awesome. And then also not settling for less than you want. I could tell you, so many of my clients struggle with lowballing themselves. It's definitely something that always seems to happen for whatever reason. I don't know why people think that there's not people out there that will purchase whatever it is that they're selling. Yes, sometimes it might be a little far-fetched if no one on this planet knows who you are and you're just coming out the gate. But if you are warming up your audience, if you have a solid strategy and plan, you should feel confident offering or asking for people to purchase whatever it is that you're selling or offering at that time. And if you don't, either there's something more that you need to do on the front end to give away, to give more value, or to, establish more of a relationship. But once you've done all of that, you need to be confident in yourself and confident in what you have to offer. And don't settle for anything lower or less than that. Because at the end of the day, if you go back to those same people and you survey them and you say, hey, do you think the price for this particular thing was right, or do you think it was a steal, a bargain? You might be surprised to find that some people are going to say, gosh, this was a steal. I know I'm a part of things and memberships that I feel like, oh my gosh, the value that I get is like 10 times more than what I paid for it. And at that point, I'm like, okay, so I think there's going to be a price increase pretty soon. Or, sometimes I give feedback and I'll tell people, I'll say, gosh, this is ridiculously cheap for what you're giving me. So you missing some coins. So try not to do that to yourself if at all possible. So, Michi said Facebook jail had her on edge. Yep. And that right there, like, we're not going to talk about Facebook because we're streaming to Facebook. But when a business does something arbitrarily and they don't give you a reason for a week, it makes you want to pull your hair out. So I totally get it. Takia said that I learned that it's okay to be okay with taking a rest and doing nothing. I can't remember the last time, but it is okay to be okay with taking a rest and doing nothing. I totally need to be in your classroom right now, Takia. I need to learn that so soon, because I have been working for quite a while, and I just want to make sure that I remember, just like you learned, to take a break and to relax every once in a while. Give yourself maybe a day. Like, I watch, to unwind on Sundays, I watch 90 Day Fiance. That's my jam. So when I watch 90 Day Fiance, and me and my cousins, we get on and we text each other, and we even do Zoom sometimes. Like, that's my time to just relax and to just let it flow. So yes, it's okay to be okay with taking a rest and doing nothing. I feel you. I've been there and done that with lowballing myself. My current prices, I am in full alignment. All right. Well, then that's all you need to know, Michi. If you are where you're supposed to be, the people who are going to pay for your service, those people are going to come and find you. And they're going to see anything that you put out there, and it'll be right. So that's awesome. All right. So if there aren't any questions, let's see. Okay. So again, just last week we had the freebie with the business research and planning Google Sheet. I hope I reached everyone that asked me for one in my messenger. If I didn't, please send me a private message so that I can go ahead and get that over to you. I don't want to miss you at all. So as I always end all of my meetings and all my calls, I always want to ask, did you have fun? I hope you did, because I know I did. This is honestly one of my favorite moments of the week, is to come on here, talk with you, see how you've been doing this week, and just, vibe and talk about business, because it's one of my favorite things to do. So, one thing I want you to try to do this week, if you haven't already done it. So my business bestie did this to me this week, and it was honestly one of the sweetest things that I broke down into tears. I want you to reach out to someone that you love, someone that is maybe happens to be your business bestie. Reach out to them this week or weekend and ask them how they're doing. Ask them how their mental health is. Ask them what's going on and what's new. And just listen. You don't have to comment. You don't have to fix things. You don't have to, give them an idea or a strategy. Just ask them how they're doing genuinely and wholeheartedly, and just listen to what they have to say. And you never know what someone's going through. I was juggling the world this week, and when my business bestie asked me, I really broke down into tears. So you just might touch somebody's heart. So, all right. Well, this has been fun. I really appreciate you guys taking your time to be with me and assist you. Next week, we're going to have a guest. Actually, no, she's going out of town. It's going to be the week after. So the week of the 21st, we're going to have a guest that comes on. Her name is Anya McNamara of McNamara Marketing. She owns about like 2 or 3 different companies, divisions. She has employees here in Florida and up north. She has been in marketing for, I think, like a decade or over a decade. She is just a wealth of knowledge. I like to consider her to be my mentor, my everything, my light. And she's going to join us on the 21st of August in the Friday night sessions. And she's going to give you some tips on marketing, maybe some pivoting strategies in your business, and about advertisements in general. So don't miss that Friday night session. All right, loves. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.